Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and I'm coming at y'all. I guess it's my last video of the day. I don't know. You never know. Anything could happen. But this is the review for Love and Marriage Huntsville. So the episode starts out with Melody going to some place to get I was about to say a donut, y'all, a cupcake. It looked like she ended up getting something to drink too, but Letitia met up with her. So they were talking, discussing things, and she said that, she followed up with some people via email. And Melody, was like, well, that's good. And so Letitia said that she was going to continue to follow up, but this time actually have a sit down. And so Melody was like, yeah, just like you're doing with me right now, you can meet up with these people and, you can actually have lunch with them and to actually discuss things. Like it's not as, strenuous as she's kind of, I guess, trying to make it out to be. Like it's just going to be such a to-do when it's not. So, she was like, yeah, okay, thank you. And so she was just like, I don't understand how I'm going to make it work because Marcel is not on, you know, on her side when it comes to her starting a career again, actually trying to get out there and work and all that stuff. It's been 12 years, and apparently she hasn't really done anything except gotten her realtor's license, and she hasn't even been able to really use that. So she had the kids, and she's been a stay-at-home mom, and that's what they agreed on, and Marsal is not budging. And so Melody decides to say that, I have the blueprint, basically trying to say that she can tell her what she can do because of how everything is going in her marriage. And I was just like, look, you can't say nothing as far as the marriage part, even though I think that Marceau does things on the low. It's just the way his personality, he just strikes me as that type of guy. Now, if I'm wrong, I will sincerely apologize for it, but he just strikes me as that. He'd be doing the most. I can't. Even his mama was reading him in the next episode about the strippers and things that happened at this not bachelorette, this black bachelor's party that they held or whatever. And that's later on that I'm gonna talk about some of the things that happened at the bachelor's party. So anyway, y'all, I'm just looking like, okay, you can't really give nobody no advice. I mean, I get it. I get what she's trying to say. The only thing that she really should have said, like, is that, yeah, we're having our issues concerning what he did to me infidelity wise, but as far as the kids, we have a system. Our system is in place and it works. So, that's their main issue because Marceau is not about to ever really try to set nothing up and be like, hey, you take the kids one day, I take the kids another day. Instead of me going and playing golf, I'll be here with the kids. He don't want to do nothing with the kids, and he done already said that. Like, I can't, y'all. But anyway, it's a lot. Then, for some reason, Melody has just been very, very open. She straight up told her that, she was like, you might have to just show him. And I'm looking like, what you mean? So she told her that when everything hit the fan about what Martell did, she packed up the kids and left, got a whole nother house or somewhere to live. And she was like, well, how long were you gone for? She said 6 months. And so she's basically trying to make it seem like Martell saw the light and, then they moved back home. And I'm just like, from what we're seeing, I mean, he didn't really see the light, but okay, whatever you say. So, I mean, the gist of all of that is she's just like, you have to set boundaries and let your man know what you will and won't accept. And she let him know that she was not cool with him cheating, it's not acceptable, and she will not stand for it, and that's why she left. Y'all, so anyway, Kimmy ended up going to some salon because she wanted a Miami look. I didn't understand because I feel like she just got her normal look. Y'all, I don't know. I'm not trying to read her or any of that. I was just trying to understand what was she doing. Anyway, she said she went to this woman's salon and she described to her that it was going to be like an all-white party, all white type of situation, and she wanted the woman to do her hair and all that stuff. The woman sat up there, curled her weave and her leave out, like just normal spiral curls or whatever they call them, y'all. I was just like, oh, okay. Y'all, anyway, um, when Letitia left from Melody at the little place where she was talking to her, where she had gotten her cupcake from, she left and she had to go get her daughter. She said she had to go get the other kids too. Well, no, she went and got that daughter. So apparently she left and got that daughter from wherever that daughter was, because I'm thinking she's the youngest and the other ones are in school. And then she met up with Kimmy at that salon. So she was talking to her. She was like, yeah, girl, everything going fine. And she had that child with her. And so she was like, okay, what's going on with you? And she was like, I just left from hanging out with Melody and we were talking. And then she brought up, what was said. And so, in essence, she asked Kimmy, do you think that she's trying to tell me that I need to leave Marsau for a little while? And so Kimmy was just looking at her like, no. Like, girl, no. And I mean, Kimmy was reading her all throughout the confessionals. I was just like, Lord. Especially when she said something about how she had the blueprint. Oh, no, you should have never told her that, because she was just looking like, what you mean the blueprint? Her marriage is on the rocks and then some, but you talking about she said that she had the blueprint and you trying to listen to her? Like, you really are trying to feed into what she's saying? You're really about to try to go off of what she's saying to you. Ma'am. Kimmy was tired. And I was just like, how did you read all the way into that you needed to leave your husband when she clearly said she left him because of the infidelity and she couldn't take it. So she took the kids and went on about her business. And he realized what he needed to realize in order for them to come back home. Y'all, I can't. So another thing that was discussed was that she, again, decided to say that she felt like she was a single mother because she's trying to get these things going for herself. And y'all know Kimmy was not here for that single mother talk again, because she literally was a single mother. Even the stylist side-eyed her like, I was like, no. Y'all, she was like, okay, there's that single mother talk again. And so Kimmy had to school her on like what a single parent really is. Like, don't sit up here and say, I felt like I was a single parent when you had a whole dude right there and all bills were being paid for you, not a portion of a half of a half of a half of a bill. And other people don't even get that. So don't even try to sit up here and try to play that. I felt like I was a single mother. How? I mean, you're there. He is the father, but he's just raggedy. Just say my husband's raggedy when it comes to the kids, but the bills are paid. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to read her. I'm just saying he just is what he is. He is raggedy when it comes to the kids. I mean, what? He just is. And so, like I said, she had to school her, and then even the stylist was like, yeah, I had to, kind of look at you and kind of laugh when you kept talking about you were single. You felt like a single mother. Like, no. So, Maurice and Kimmy are packing for the trip, and they're discussing how they think everything is going to go. And then it gets to the point where she was like, well, do you need me to help you pack? And he was like, no. And then she was like, well, do you need me to help little Maurice pack? And so he was like, no, I'm going to help him. And so she was like, are you sure? Because I'm talking about like specific things that he needs to pack, like the coordination or whatever she was talking about. He was like, yeah, I might need your help. So then, they go over to the son and he's talking to his mama, FaceTiming her, whatever you want to call it, Skyping or whatever they were doing on the laptop. And so she was like, how you doing? How's your summer going? All this other stuff. What you been doing? What's new? And so he was like, nothing. I'm enjoying myself. And did you know that Dad and Kimmy are getting married on a yacht? So she was like, no. And then she all of a sudden had to leave and go to work. She was like, yeah, so I'm going to talk to you later. I got to go back to work. I'm like, what? Y'all, so anyway, he got off the thing with his mama. And so Kimmy came in there and was talking to him and was like, well, what we about to do when we're in Miami, right? And so he was like, yeah, you and Dad are going to get married. And so she was like, well, yeah, but I feel like we're going to become a family. And so he was like, I feel like we are already a family. So that was a touching moment. I thought that was so cute. For him to be so young, he was like already here for her. That lets me know that somebody is doing something right. So that's good. You know what I'm saying? Apparently she ain't doing nothing sideways. You know how some people, they act a fool when children are involved, and they are more here for that person that they're with than the child, and just treat the child like a, oh, okay, whatever. You know, I don't like stuff like that. So I'm glad that she's, you know, basically being the stepmother that she should be. So that's good. And, you know, yeah. So Letitia and Marcel are talking and packing for the trip as well, because everybody's gonna go to Miami for the wedding. So she's talking to him, and you know, she was like, well, you know, I was talking to Melody, and she said she had the blueprint. And I mean, basically telling him like everything that was going on and how she wants to the same conversation she always had with him, and you know he ain't here for it. And that was a short conversation. I was like, Lord. And so she had to go help the kids get packed, and you know, he acted like he was gonna help her pack, and then he called her back over there, hugged and gave her a little kiss and grabbed her booty. I was like, boy, sit down somewhere. Y'all, so this is kind of the meat and potatoes, or at least the meat or the potato, one of them. Like, this might be the meat or this might be the potatoes of the whole episode. Y'all, so we're at Melody and Martell packing to go on the trip. So, you know, they talking. And, you know, Melody was like, well, you know, I'm kind of on the fence about even going, because knowing that I'm going to their wedding, it brings up feelings about how I feel about us being married. And he was just like, I don't understand how there's a correlation, because she's just saying, you know, she didn't know that he was going to do all this stuff to her. And, you know, had she known the future, she would not have married him, because he tried to, you know, playfully, kind of, sort of, you know, get on his knee and propose to her again. Be like, if I was to ask you to marry you right now, would you say yes? And so she was kind of like, no. And he was like, what you mean? Like, no. She straight up told him, like, if I were to be able to see you in the future, no, I would not. So no. And she was just like, look, you don't understand. You know, I had no idea that there would have been so many disappointments in my marriage to you. So, you know, I don't feel how I want to feel about them getting married. And I was like, that's sad, but I get it. Because she really is like really deep in her feelings about it, because she hasn't began to forgive and forget. Well, not forget. She hasn't began to forgive for the infidelity. She's there, but she's not. She's just there so she won't get fined, so to speak. And I'm just looking like, wow. So, you know, I ain't think it was going to get out of hand like this, y'all. So it got to the point where they started kind of delving into it. So he was like, yeah, I feel like you're talking about the infidelity and with me cheating. So, you know, she, you know, said what she said. And he was like, well, you know, you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. He said something about how she don't cook and clean like she's supposed to do. And she was like, what you mean? I do cook and clean all of the time. I clean toilets. I clean sinks. I clean tabletop. Like, she said it off. I was like, oh my gosh. And you know what I'm saying? And he said something about how, you know, he would call her and she wouldn't answer. And she was like, because I was in business meetings or whatever and all that. So he was basically like, look, he cheated because that woman felt a void. And, you know, she was like, well, you keep talking about it in a way that makes me think that you should have two women. And he was like, maybe I should. In the Bible days, they had several women. So, you know, maybe they was on to something. So she was like, well, maybe you need to go on over there then, since she felt such a void and all that. I was like, Lord, somebody please do something. Because this is going all the way sideways. Y'all, I can't. It was just too bad. Y'all, she even got to the point where she was like, okay, well, since you're trying to make it seem like, you know, me not having time to talk to you from time to time when I was in business meetings was the gateway that I guess kind of opened doors for you wanting to be out here cheating, then what is it when I would communicate to you certain things I wanted you to do and you weren't doing them? Because he brought that up too. He would say that, you know, I wanted you to do certain things. And so she was like, well, you never communicated that to me. Why, if I'm sitting up here satisfying you sexually and all this other stuff, why wouldn't you tell me that I'm not doing these things for you? And so he was like, I did. I laid right up next to you and I would tell you I wanted you to do certain things. And every time I would ask you about something, you would say, no, I'm not doing that. And so that's when she decided to do her basically rebuttal and say, well, I asked you to do certain things and you wouldn't do them. And so he was looking like, asked me what? So he thought about it. He was like, you trying to say something about me talking dirty to you? That ain't. So, because she kind of was like, well, since you didn't do what I asked you to do, should I have just gone out and stepped out on you and cheated too? I was like, Lord, this is too much. I was tired. And so, like, she just went all the way off. She was like, I am your trophy. I'm supposed to be your trophy wife. I'm supposed to be able to do everything for you. And I feel like I'm doing everything for you. Why didn't you communicate these things to me? You should have communicated these things to me if I wasn't doing what you thought I was supposed to be doing. And so, Lord, it was just too much. And so, she was just like, look, it's okay that we're not what we thought each other were to one another. So he was like, what you mean? And so she was just like, look, apparently, there are times that people have been in marriages for a long time and then they find out that they aren't who they thought they were and some things happen and it changes the dynamic and that's okay. Y'all, it's just a mess. But they're still supposed to be trying to get ready to come on this trip. And I was just like, Lord, don't nobody have time. Lord, so tell me why I can't do it. Like him and Marceau are just so much alike. It irks my soul. He gonna say something to the effect that the reason why men walk away from women every single time is the woman's fault. The woman won't stop talking. Something about the women. The women are always the ones that won't stop talking. And it's like, what? A lot of times these men that have cheated, that have walked away, they thought that they saw something green on the other side and it wasn't nothing over there but some mildew. And y'all was all up and through the mildew. And all you did was create a child or get some STDs and then try to bring it back over there to home. And it's like, what did you gain outside of an additional sex partner? I don't understand. Y'all, I was tired. Like and then like she was reading him even more. She was like, look, I don't even understand because when all this stuff started happening, I suggested to you that we should go to marriage counseling. And you said no, you were dead set against it. But then every time I look up, you are suggesting for your friends to go and telling them that it works and that they should go, but you won't even do it for yourself. And he was just like, no, I ain't going. And so then he was like, are you asking for a divorce? Like, are you going to try to divorce me? And she was like, I don't know what I may do. And then he was like, well, he kind of was like, well, you don't know what I might do. I might be the one filing first. Like, they was doing the most, y'all. I was tired. So everybody but Melody and Martell have landed in Miami and they're meeting up for lunch. And so they're talking. And I think one of Maurice's brothers and his girlfriend or wife both came. And so the brother was like, why we got two empty chairs over here? And so they were like, yeah, that's supposed to be for Melody and Martell, but they ain't here yet, and we don't know if they're going to come. So they talking. Everybody was just like, okay, what's going on here? And so they was like, well, what are we supposed to be expecting for the bachelor's party and the bachelorette party? So they, y'all, I can't. And so they was like, oh, we're just going to, be talking about little simple things. Like, I can't, y'all. Ain't nobody got time. So, basically trying to say what the rules are going to be, whatever. So Marceau is talking to his wife, and he was like, well, we're probably just going to smoke cigars and just talk about the married life, the ones of us who've already been married for a while, and give them encouragement. And so his wife the whole time was like, but you're lying, though. Like, I'm not naive. Why are you talking to me like this? And so she didn't believe it, nothing he talking about. Y'all, so anyway, then he gonna randomly say something about respectfully cheating, because at one point in time, that's kind of what Melody said was fine, because when she said something about, as long as you're respectful about it, then, it's, basically okay. Y'all remember when she was talking about how when he was cheating, it was not necessarily that it was okay, but the problem really came into effect when the side chick was calling him and interrupting their time and doing all this other stuff, like doing the most. So he was joking about that, and so she was looking at him like, no. So then everybody is meeting up So the girls are meeting up. All the women, including Kimmy's mama, met up at this place, and they were basically gonna eat dinner. And they just kept going back and forth between the men and the women. The men met up to have like some shots, and Melody appears from out of nowhere. She was like, "Hey y'all, I'm sorry I'm late. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever." And I was like, "Oh Lord, okay." And they actually had video footage from the Holtz, and they were trying to look like they were happy. They like, if I hadn't ever saw this show and I just saw them like on Instagram or wherever they did their little video footage and probably posted it, I would have thought they were the cutest couple and they just were goals, but no. And so they were like, "Yeah, hey, how y'all doing?" And they were in Nashville in some kind of an airport there while everybody else was already in Miami. So I was like, what in the world? So apparently they left late. They might have argued, missed their flight. I don't know. Y'all, so then, like I said, they had her. She showed up, and like I said, the guys are doing the most. They kept going back and forth between the women and the men, and the people at the restaurant that Kimmy and them were at was like, "We have something for the bride to be," and they brought out this really super duper long hot dog and on a bun and like had it close up to her face. And so she's like, I'm thinking, what in the world am I gonna do? They had this in my face and my mama is sitting right here. Like, what are they thinking? Like, she was laughing, and then she was like, don't get it twisted, I can handle it all. Trying to make light of the situation. Some drunk random white guy rolled up on them and was doing provocative stuff. And so she was looking like, yeah, I expected some strippers, but I didn't expect Dave to come over here like this. Like, that dude was drunk and doing the most. Like, somebody that was a part of the actual facilities had to come in and take him away. It was like, yeah, I think your time is up. I think you got to go somewhere else. I was like, oh my gosh. That dude was doing the most. I was like, Lord. Okay, y'all. So Maurice said that, while he was talking to the guys, he was like, I've been with her all this time. And in my mind, I feel like I just kept waiting on the other shoe to drop, and it never would drop. And then all of my friends were like, well, what are you waiting on? And he was like, that's when I realized that I had to go ahead and make this next move. And so Kimmy is in where she is. And so she was like, I love Maurice. I love him. I just really love him so much. And then she bust out crying. I was like, Lord, y'all doing the most. And then like her mama made a speech. And she was said, at the end of it, she said, thank you for giving me a son. And then Letitia got up and made her a little speech. And then she was like, and I want to welcome you, you're going to be my new sister-in-law and all the other stuff. Welcome to the family and all that stuff, y'all. Y'all, tell me why they went back to the men, showing what was going on with the men. Martell is sitting up here getting drunk. Apparently, he doesn't drink like that. Like, he really don't even drink. They poured him the first shot, right? And he took like a little sip. He was just like you could tell like he don't drink unless he really was putting on for the cameras. I was like, what is going on, Jesus? Like, I was tired. So then like they ended up loading him up with like shot after shot. And after that, he was knocking it back like water. I was like, okay, what happened? You real tired, ain't you? So then he going out of nowhere to me, yeah, I'm about to lay down the rules. What happens here? You married, I'm married, all of us men over here married. And what's going to happen with these rules is whatever happens here stays here between us. And I was just like, you doing the most. And everybody was like, yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye on him because he finna go crazy. He don't look like somebody who's working on his marriage. So, y'all, the girls had a little party bus, and it was kind of whack in my opinion. It just was dancing on there, and that was all. And I was just like, that's all y'all gonna do is just get on there and drink and dance? Oh, okay. If that's what y'all do, okay, cool. I mean, I guess some people are tame. I'm not really into stuff, but I feel like I would have done more than that. But yeah, the men went to some strip club and showed all the way out. Maurice was doing the most with strippers. He had one stripper bent all the way over, shaking on him, on his midsection. Then he was on the floor, like in a handstand halfway, like he in the middle of what's that dance, y'all? Break dancing on some woman's neck, and then he did some kind of turnbuckle move on her neck. I was like, sir, And it's like he looked, I don't know, it's just some people just look lame to me. He looked lame. Like he had these shades on and a cigar in his mouth and a bottle up to his lip. Just had a whole bottle of Patron or whatever that was, Don Julio, whatever it was, and a whole stack of ones, and trying to look like he just owned it all, or he was just I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far, or whatever. I don't know. He just, I was just like, if you don't get somewhere. Y'all, he did the most. But Martell did the absolute most, y'all. This fool got drunk. He kept going up to the DJ booth, the little announcer booth, whatever that was, and kept getting the mic and announcing people and saying, yeah, y'all, you might as well say I'm getting married too. Apparently, he ain't never had a bachelor party, so he was like, yeah, this gonna be my bachelor party too. So he started setting it off with the strippers and air. I was like, he was very inappropriate. And Melody, when she was on the party bus, was just sitting down while everybody else was like up dancing and drinking and smiling, having a good time. She was literally the only one sitting down. Like, I'm guessing that either, what's her name, Kimmy's mama went back to a hotel room, or she was on the bus too, but I don't think she was sitting. Melody was sitting down on her phone. It looked like she was texting Martell, but I don't know. Apparently he wasn't responding, because if you saw what he was doing, like I saw what he was doing. Where the phone at? Ain't no phone. He ain't trying to talk to her. He did the absolute most, and I was tired. Y'all, but yeah, that was everything that happened on this episode, and the most is gonna happen on this next episode, y'all. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this review, and y'all can comment down in the comment section and let me know what I missed on what you thought about this episode, because they be doing the most, y'all. I'm tired. So anyway, I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.